Cool.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Justin, again for that shit. All right, so this is Tyler Toby Townsend. I'm here with
Cody Andrews.
Nice, man. We'll just jump right into it. I'm going to do the gym update. For me, gym's been going fine. I'm starting to lift heavy again. I took a day off this week.
Okay.
So instead of hitting 4 days, I hit 3, and I could just feel my body not being okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm starting to get real fucking heavy again, up in the 700s. So, like, when you start prepping your body like that, if you don't continue, at least for me, my body starts to feel antsy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you have to prep your CNS, all that other bullshit for it. So it's rough.
Yeah.
But so I've been feeling very like energized on my bones, kind of a thing. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So what do you do to keep fit?
I just started lifting heavy again, actually, for the first time in like 12 years.
All right. Where are you lifting?
Yeah, I'm at 24-hour fitness, and I kind of hate it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, half the shit's broken. Every woman there wants attention, way too much, and the sauna's slimy and gross and smells like fish, and it's pretty nasty, man. But it's open 24 hours, so what can you do?
Well, come over to my gym. That's what you can do.
Okay. Well,
hardcore barbell. It's open 24 hours. You get a key card. You can only use the sauna during, I think
normal
it's
hours?
like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay.
But it's one of those just like you can put in your garage saunas.
Yeah.
It's a 2-seater.
Cool.
It's always fucking available. But you got to turn that shit on when you get there.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
You got to really make sure it's ready. 'Cause I've hopped in there. It does not get hot fast enough.
Oh, for sure. It takes like an hour and a half sometimes to heat those up.
So I just turn it on when I get there.
Yeah.
Do my workout. By the time I'm done, it's like 140 degrees.
Right on,
Hop in that shit, 20, 30 minutes.
Badass, brother.
I love the sauna. You were just talking about the sauna.
I'm kind of obsessed with it these days, actually.
Let's hear that.
Yeah.
So what's up? Tell me you're being hit with bushes?
Yes, sir. My Russian friends converted me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They converted this whole 45-foot fifth-wheel trailer into a sauna.
Whoa.
Yeah, no joke. So it's like a hangout room and then like a special sauna, and they put a wood-fired stove in there. And the first time they ever had me do it, they had me sit next to the stove, and it was so hot, bro. My hairs on my legs were burning off.
Wow.
And curling up. Yeah. And
How
we had
long are they in there?
They're in there for sessions of 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And we wear those funny-looking hats because it actually provides a layer of insulation around your head and keeps you from passing out in like extreme heat.
Whoa.
Yeah, nuts.
Okay.
So by the time we get out, some of the guys are like stumbling and like kind of passing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we jump into freezing cold water. They got those big like those tanks of water, the plunges.
Yeah.
You know, like those big like things people put like vegetable oil in for like restaurants. My homie bought like 6 of those, and he fills it up with hose water and then a bunch of bags of ice. So we just go immediately and jump into the freezing cold water and do cold plunge for like as long as we can stay. They stay in for 2 minutes. I stay in for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough, yeah.
So when I was doing that shit, I would. So you're supposed to, like, first of all, have you ever done what do they call the freezing tanks? You know what I'm talking about? They use like, man, everything's eluding my brain.
Yes, so it's like a cold plunge, but it has like recycling water, and it's moving, but it's below freezing.
Oh no, I'm talking. It's dry.
Oh, whoa.
You're walking in there. It's like nitrogen, and it's like freezing your fucking shit off.
No.
Yeah,
way.
you got to wear gloves and socks.
You got to wear like special underwear to do that to protect your.
I don't wear underwear, so like I think you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I did actually have a time I had just had sex.
Yeah.
And I went in there and there must have been something on the tip.
Oh no.
Because it fucking hurt.
Oh.
But you can kind of feel it. You're in there for like 2 minutes max.
Yeah.
And it's like negative like 200 degrees.
No freaking joke.
And dude, I swear to God, you hop out of that fucking thing and you feel ready to go again.
You feel like you can like run a marathon.
Well, I just pounded a fucking 3-hour workout. Yeah. I'd go do this. I could go right back in. No
way.
problem, dude. It was nuts.
Yeah.
But the cold plunge too.
Yeah.
Before I got to that, because that's like $80 a month for 4 sessions a week, right?
Okay.
Which I go 4 days a week, so it worked out perfect. I just hit it on the way home.
Right.
Before that, I have a hot tub in the backyard.
Yeah.
I just turned that fucker off.
Right.
And then I would just go to dump ice from my ice maker in there and just jump in.
Oh,
it is cold enough in this bitch to keep that thing
Yeah.
cold.
I bet, bro.
So you just jump in there for 3-4 minutes. Most I've done is like 15 minutes.
Okay.
But it's like, it's not freezing. It's not a cold plunge. It's just
Right.
cold ass water.
Yeah, same thing to me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheesh. But you do those sessions like 10 minutes in extreme heat, 10 minutes in extreme cold. I think we did 4 sessions in a row. I felt so detoxed, man. I literally felt like so much, I don't know if it was adrenaline or what exactly it was I was feeling, but I felt like I could run an entire marathon. Felt like I could go fight a bear and I'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane, man. You get a high out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So ever since then, I've been addicted, man.
Well, you got to let me know next time
all
you're
about
going.
it.
I'm into that shit.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Yeah.
We got to be completely naked.
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know, right?
I like showing off the goods nowadays.
Exactly, yeah. Is that another, what do you call it, some benefit of the freezing thing?
You're naked
wiener
in there?
growth or something?
No, it is not. It's not getting any bigger. It is what it is.
It is. I feel you.
That's right. I had to get over that a long time ago. That's cool. I'm one of those dudes who's the perfect size, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I'm an every hole kind of guy. They are not concerned. That's what I am, dude.
My man.
Is it your thumb? No, it's a little bigger than that. It's fine.
Oh, it cracks me up. You were a footballer, right?
Yeah, I did football,
So
wrestling,
you're used to
and
that
soccer.
shit, you know? It's like in the locker room and everything. It's like, yeah, fuck ever.
Even in high school,
Yeah.
it really wasn't a thing.
Right.
Like your dong's not whipping around.
Right,
The only
yeah.
time I ever had to do it in front of everybody was wrestling, weigh-ins.
Uh-huh. Oh.
It was to the point where I had to go undies off.
Yeah.
I had to make
Yeah,
weight. I was
yeah.
like 0.5 over, and they're like, "You're gonna have to lose the undies."
Oh, no.
Everybody's watching. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm making weight, motherfucker. Like, I don't
Let's
give
go.
a shit.
Let's go Conor McGregor style. you
Yeah,
know
dude,
what I
I'm
mean?
fucking into it. Like,
Yeah.
just butt naked right in
Yeah.
front of everybody. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, his dick. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's
Yeah,
got
whatever.
one, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
concerned.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
small enough to where I'm upset about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely an average cock, dude.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. So we had a
that's
couple
great.
dudes in there who would weigh in naked every time. And we're like, we get it.
Every time. Yeah.
We get it,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Put
it's
that
like,
thing
cool,
away.
Man. Yeah. That's hella funny, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay,
bro.
so
Yeah.
tell me about the sticks real quick. We missed that part.
Oh, so they're called veniki or venik, a venik.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what kind of tree it is. I think it's oak. It's something like that. But basically, they get these branches from a tree and they soak it in hot water and then let it chill on top of the sauna heater. And then they smack the crap out of you with it for like 10 minutes all over your body as you lay down. And the idea is that it's kind of like a poor man's version of having like a really nice, hot, steamy towel like whack you on your back. And so,
Interesting, okay.
and whenever there's like motion to the air in the sauna, it burns even hotter. So if someone like blows on you while you're in the sauna, like on your skin, it actually is hella hot. So it gives you like a hotter experience, but also feels like this refreshing, warm, wet towel hitting you. It's kind of cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of badass. But they're for real with it. They'll have 2, and they'll be like drumming on your back. Pa, 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 da, 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 give me that, pa, 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 pa.
Yeah.
They make it a whole thing, bro. There's leaves flying everywhere in the sauna. It's like raining leaves inside there. It's wild, bro. Yeah, Russian culture is crazy, man.
Yeah, you really immersed, man.
I did, man. I did, yeah. I'm almost fluent now. Yeah. Now every time I go to the sauna, I talk to the old Soviet guys in there, and it's cool. They invite me to like their conservative churches and like speak to me only in Russian, and they're all trying to get me married.
They're trying to get you
They're trying to
married?
get me married, man.
Oh, man. That's
yeah.
hot.
Yeah, I know. It's wild, bro. It's
So I'm
wild.
assuming you've been with a couple Russian chicks then, right?
I had one Russian. How many? One Russian girlfriend. Well, she wasn't Russian. She was from Belarus, which is next door, kind of, to Russia, above Ukraine, I think. And so they
Yeah.
speak a form of Russian. They speak Belarusian.
Yeah.
So it's still Slavic. It was all one thing before. It was all the USSR. So basically, here in America, we would know it as Russian. We would call it Russian culture, but it's technically Belarusian. So she was badass, man. She's the reason I still speak it, man.
Yeah.
She was awesome, yeah. Changed my
What happened to
life.
her?
Well, I met her in North India. I was.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no shit, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What are you
man.
doing over there? What is she doing over there?
Dude, this is the wildest story you've ever heard, dude. So I went to North India to pray and fast to live on a mountain and disappear for a while.
Wow.
So I sold most of what I had and just had like this bin, like 6 feet, maybe 5 feet of shit, you know, and I kept it at my buddy's place. So I went out there with nothing. Ended up in some Himalayan village. Didn't even know I was headed to the Himalayas. Long story. I basically got abandoned and left for dead in the freaking slums. Hour one, day one. As soon as I landed, fell for the scam they hit all the tourists with. It was like midnight. Street dogs attacked our taxi. They drove me to this place. Basically charged me every dollar to my name except for $5 I wouldn't give them. Blah 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 blah. Crazy crap. 3 days later, end up in this Himalayan village in northern India. And I sit down on these stone steps, and this girl's walking with these bags that are like bigger than her. And she's like, "Will you help me with my bags?" And I was like, "Well, yes, I will." and so I help her carry her bags and feel like the big man, you know. And we started hanging out every day after that. We like hiked up this waterfall together, and she made these single cloth dresses out of like hemp, and she would like sew them herself. And she dressed like Mary, Jesus' mother, from like the Bible series and stuff. I kid you not.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't know that was attractive until then. And she stayed in this little hut, this little cottage on the mountain, man.
Well, I feel like too, like
Yeah.
it's really, was the dress actually attractive, or were you just so attracted to this woman that was okay?
It was so different from anything that I've ever thought of of being attractive that it was like exotic to me.
Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
it was like this wild, new. It was cool points.
Yeah.
You know, I felt cool for being around her. It's like, this is the coolest woman I've ever been around in my entire life. She like taught me how to like what plants you could eat from the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She used to live in the forest in Russia and live off of the plants. Just for no tent. She slept outside under a tree for fun.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like this. It was really, I don't want to say hippie because we picture like tie-dye kind of stuff. She was just like a really foresty, natural, obsessed with the earth, not trying to wear shoes kind of girl. Single cloth dresses, really into like didgeridoos and like spiritual songs and spirituality and stuff like that.
Did she do any witchcraft stuff?
A bunch, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. She loved it. She was
I'm
really
getting
into
into
it.
that shit now.
Really?
Yeah, I really want to like dive into that whole. Like right now, a lot of it's pagan.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot of that shit. There's a lot more examples of that. There's a lot more like regular research done about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to dig in a little more. I want to get in tune with more nature stuff, man. Like,
Yeah, I feel you.
I am so sick of all this modern bullshit.
Yeah.
I think this society is creating just weird shit, dude.
Completely, man. Completely. Everyone's kind of trying to go back to the natural way and our roots and stuff. Like, everyone wants a homestead now. Everyone wants to raise chickens now. Everyone wants to get out of the grind, you
I
know?
have 2 goats and 4 chickens.
Let's go!
Yeah, dude. I fucking love it.
She would have loved you.
Yeah.
She would have been feeding your goats, dude.
Dude, they're the best. So I've had them since they were babies. Like, So I babied them.
Yeah.
And they're like fucking loud
Goku and
dogs.
Vegeta, right?
Yeah, they were dressed as Goku and Vegeta, but their
Yeah.
name is Tank and Toast.
Oh, Tank and Toast. Okay, cool. Oh, that's cooler. Those are cooler.
I
names.
love I love those fucking goats.
Yeah.
Assholes. So they're deemed insanely obese.
Okay.
Because I kept feeding them grain. I didn't know you're not supposed to do that
Right.
unless they're like meat goats or dairy goats.
Okay.
Well, they're wethers, so they're just like male goats that have been castrated.
Right.
They're pets, right?
Right.
So they're supposed to just eat what's available
Right.
in your yard. I didn't know that, so I fed them every day.
Oh, shoot.
So they were fat as fuck, bro. Like
bet,
so
man.
fat. Now it's been probably 3-4 months,
Uh-huh.
and they've lost so much fucking weight, but they're eating everything.
In a good way or bad way?
Bad way.
Oh,
So
no.
yes, they've eaten everything that I want them to eat.
Right.
Now they're eating. I had a fucking. I a whitewater raft in my backyard.
No.
They ate that shit.
No.
They ate a fucking cooler, bro. Like, they tore the plastic off and are eating the insulation inside. And of course, it's in my backyard.
And
I don't know.
They're fine?
They just eat it.
They can eat a raft and they're fine.
They're fine. Plasticky, rubbery shit. They ate that. They ate the cover of my barbecue. They ate like fucking everything. They're eating everything.
Teeth made out of? That's insane.
I don't fucking know. If they can chew it, they eat it. Dude.
Yeah.
It is nuts.
Holy crap, dude. That's wild, man.
My whole backyard is covered in fucking goat shit.
Yeah.
But my yard looks amazing.
I was just going to say, probably incredible fertilizer.
Absolutely. Not to mention, so what I didn't notice, at first, I saw the chickens, they're walking around and they claw the earth.
Yeah.
Right? And they're looking for bugs or whatever the fuck. They just constantly do that all day, every day. Mm-hmm. What I didn't notice is now I have no weeds in my backyard, and the grass looks phenomenal. They basically half an inch rototilled my entire backyard.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. And so it looks phenomenal.
Let's go.
Yeah. So yes, there's goat shit and chicken shit all over it, but goat shit's like little beads.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fucking matter, and it just melts into the ground as soon as it gets wet. Yeah. And then chicken shit's the same.
Yeah.
Now I have a pad of concrete that it doesn't look great.
Right.
But I just sweep that shit off.
Or sweep it. Yeah, exactly.
You got to sweep it. It gets sticky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
On there.
Spray it down with the hose afterwards or something if you really have to, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
we sidetracked.
Yeah, no worries, brother.
Woman in a one piece up in the Himalayas.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So she was into witchcraft and stuff.
Yes.
Which is interesting because I'm Christian and she was into witchcraft, but when you're out there, dude, my story was freaking insane, bro. They fucking abandoned me in the slums and left me for fucking dead. Yeah. And I was like terrified. I had no phone. I was in the middle of hell. Looked like where Osama bin Laden would live. All the buildings are destroyed. Packs of street dogs that attacked a moving car, our car, while we were driving through. Gangs of dudes looking at you. Freaking, like, literally, if you sleep out there, you're gone, bro. And so I talked to these guys. These dudes believed in good karma. So they, like, freaking, they owned their own travel agency. So basically the hotel owner felt bad for me, and he called him. And he's like, we have an American here. He's in some trouble. I need your help. So they come through, and they let me, like, they had this broken down alley next to this shop. And when I say shop, I mean, like, there's no free space. There's trash everywhere. It's just wild bulls walking or cars. There's not even enough free space for a homeless person to sleep. There's no... I don't know how to describe this. I can't describe it to anyone in America, but there are places where there is no free open space. Not even 2 feet. Like here we have parking lots and a field and this. And if you had to, you could sleep under wherever you wanted. There was no free space. The buildings were so close together. It's just unfathomable till you're there, you know? And so we hung out in this alley. They let me eat with them. They were like, it is not safe. And they gave me 2 security guard guys to walk me to my hotel every night. And I'm a big dude. I'm 6'1", 212 pounds, pretty athletic. I think at the time, did I have any face tattoos? I had 1 face tattoo at least. Neck tattoo, hand tattoos and stuff. And they were still concerned for me. Usually people are like, oh, he'll be fine. No one's going to want to mess with that guy, you know? But there, bro, it's crazy. So from that, I ended up in the Himalayas with that girl. And like I said, she was into witchcraft, and I was Christian, so you'd think it wouldn't work. But when I told her my story, bro, she was my only friend out there. No one knew why I was really there. Everyone thought I was a tourist. I went out there to disappear, to pray and to fast and to do this thing and to just live like the disciples on a mountain, you know? And so I was like, screw it, bro. I always watched that 10 Commandments movie growing up where Moses would walk up the mountain in 1955, the old movie, and talk to God. And I was like, why can't it be like that? Why can't people actually live like that? So I was actually giving it a go. So I'm out there. We walk back up to her cottage this one night. And she's like, do you want to stay here instead of going down? Because it's the freaking Wild West, dude. There's bears. There's Up above us, there's snow leopards on the snowy part, but who knows? I don't know where I'm at, dude. I have no clue. I'm in the Indian wilderness. No idea what's here. No idea what wildlife. Never intended to be here. I'm in the Himalayas. Okay, what does that mean? What is here? Who is here? Who will kill me? Who won't? No freaking clue. No references whatsoever. So I asked my friends. They say there's bears, there's king cobras, there's scorpions, there's packs of dogs, wild dogs everywhere. And they tell me the city dogs are nice, the mountain dogs are mean. There's packs of monkeys. There's packs of monkeys getting in fights with packs of dogs. There's wild bulls walking around with free will and sleeping in the middle of the roads. It's wild, bro.
So will those bulls attack you too?
Oh, I got in a fight with one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It was terrifying. It was nuts, but I was so pissed off at that point. I didn't care if I lived or died, man. It was nuts. That was wild, bro.
Okay, so you ended up staying?
So, yeah, I ended up staying. And so she had this little, like, futon thing on her porch. And then there was a window, and then inside. And so she didn't really know me, you know what I mean? So she offered to let me sleep outside. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this. And so she's talking to me through the window. There's only like 1.5 feet of space between us. She's smashed up against the wall on the inside. I'm against the wall on the outside. And then right as she's going to bed, I just like wake her up, and I'm like, yo, look. And then I just let it go. And I was like, I don't know. I fucking got here. I don't know how I got here. And they left me for dead in the slums, and I had no money and no hope, and I don't know where I am, and no one knows I'm here, and I'm just here to pray and fast on a mountain, and I'm probably not coming back alive, and I don't know how I'm going to make it back to the airport. And it's just a bunch of crap, bro. And then she held my hand through the entire night, bro. She reached her hand through the window and held onto my hand. And then for the entire night, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, I was expecting her to let go. 8 hours straight. Woke up, she's still holding on to my hand through a window, bro. And then the next morning, she's like, did you feel how everything changed last night? Which is her way of saying, like, I love you now. Like, I like you. Like, this is something I wasn't expecting. And I was like, yeah, I did. And so the next day, she, like, curled up on my lap and started drawing henna on my arm and on my hand and stuff. And she asked me what I wanted her to draw. And I just had her draw, this sounds weird, but when I was out there, I was praying, and I felt like God told me to call him, because the Muslim name, I think, for Jesus is Isa. But I wasn't in a Muslim country, I was in a Hindu country. But whatever, I follow orders, screw it. He told me while I'm out there to call him Isa, which ended up, there was a reason for that later on, but I was like, write the name of Isa on my arm, Christ, of Jesus. And so she wrote Isa on my arm and drew all this stuff, and she's like cuddled up on me, and we're on this cottage in the middle of the Himalayas, you know what I mean? And then like, she was everything. She was my everything, bro. It was insane. She built this little red brick stove and would cook vegetables for me, and like, I would go and fast and pray on the mountain, and she would encourage me in doing it. And I'd come home and I'd have like burns on my face, sunburns, and she would put organic oil on all my sunburns, and just unbelievable. Feels like the Garden of Eden story, something I've never even heard of before, bro. Unbelievable. I felt like I was a child, man. She would like wrap her like scarf around me and hold me and sing to me like a mom would sing to her kid. Blew my mind. Just didn't even, whoa, what? It just reframed a relationship to me, you know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So when I look back, and sometimes it's hard to explain to people, they're like, what do you mean she was a witch and like you were a Christian? How does that work? That's how it works. Because we're all people. We're all just humans. You know, it's like we loved each other. It was, it wasn't a thing, you know?
Yeah.
So she barely spoke English, and I didn't speak any other language. And there was this like a Christian hardcore band called Sleeping Giant, and they had a Russian quote at the beginning of one of their songs, and I would just listen to it, like dance and pray in the forest. And I didn't know what the Russian meant, and she translated it for me. She was like, this is the prayer that means like daily bread? And I was like, that's badass. So then I was into it even harder. I would go out there and just dance and pray to this song. And then I learned a few words from her. And long story short, when I came back to America, when I finally made it home to Portland, it was wild, bro. Grief and like PTSD processing was brutal, but also like I went to a Russian church and I had my homeboys teach me some Russian so I could speak to her. Because even though she spoke a different dialect, she had a Russian friend on the mountain, and her Russian friend was a witch doctor named Victoria. She was like 45 years old, and they used to speak in Russian together. And so I knew she also spoke Russian. So I came back and I wanted to surprise her. So I started learning Russian, and then after like 4 months, I video chatted her, and I tried to just speak in Russian, and I said everything wrong, but she was nice, and she said it was cute and stuff. So wild, man.
She's still up there?
Right now, last I heard from her, she was in Russia, living in the forest with her friends. Perfectly, exactly what she needs to be doing, you know? And I don't know where she's at now. We had lost contact for a year or two. It was, you'd think we would stay in contact, but it was, bro, if I can't, it's too painful, you know what I mean? It's like, I just gotta let it go. It's like, she was everything to me. So I can't talk to her without like extremely traumatic attached memories of like heaven in the middle of hell. You know what I mean? So it's like, she was everything to me. So it's hard for me to just like talk to her in a friend capacity and then just be like, okay, cool, talk to you later in a few months or next year or something like that. For me, it's like an all or nothing thing. It's like, we're not together. We know we can't be. Or
why can't you be?
Sorry if that's no. That's a great question. What sucks about planet Earth is that two people can completely love each other more than anything in the entire world, but because of directions that they're each going, sometimes they can't walk. You can't walk in two separate directions together. And so it's like, I was raised super Christian. I do like 40-day fasts, 21-day fasts, 30-day fasts, praying and I'm really into it. Like, it's a thing for me. I scream for like a Christian hardcore band, you know what I mean? And so it's like, she's going a really opposite direction to that. And it's just, it worked fine when we were just loving each other. But if we had to like raise children, I think it would cause a problem, maybe cause an issue, you know, because she's really into like, or she used to be really into like deep psychedelics and stuff like that, and like and you know, witchcraft and things that she was into. But there's a certain point, like you can walk together as me and her could walk together for a while. But there's a certain point where you start to see the differences and there start to be little arguments. You know what I mean? And she was super vegetarian and pretty she was a Nazi with it, kind of, you know? And so, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, and little disagreements like that over...
So she would be upset if you ate meat?
Yeah, she would be very upset if I ate meat. It would make me feel rather uncomfortable if I had, like, a bunch of, like, idols of, like, other gods in the house, because according to my faith, you shall have no other idols, no gods before me. And so she would have like figurines and idols and burn incense and stuff like that. And it wasn't a problem when it was in her place, her cottage, and you know, I was in her space. But I just started to foresee that like if we were really going to walk together forever in the future, there are things about each other that make each other uncomfortable, and we're probably not the best match for each other. But how can that be when you're everything to that person? That's weird to me.
Well, so I think you've had to figure out what is your everything and what's not, yeah?
Right, yeah.
So your everything is more your faith. You choose that over anything else, yeah.
Yeah, that was the choice. Yeah, that was the choice. It was like, okay, so it's like I can be with this girl, but I always wanted to live my life just like the disciples did. And I had all full peace in my heart finally doing it. And that was my path. And that's the path that she helped me on. I'm thankful. She's the greatest friend of my entire life. But I just saw that man, romantically, I think that was fucking brutal, bro. Calling that, you know? Because I was going to go pray and fast on this mountain and just disappear and just do my mission. And I didn't expect to meet this girl. So now I'm there on that mountain and I can't stop thinking about her. And she's going to leave in like a few weeks. And it was just, that sucked, bro. I just came back down. Yeah. And that made a conflict because I felt like I failed. You know what I mean? Because I did. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Well, is that failure? I mean, we're all given all these obstacles and everything in our life. I mean, as long as you're failing forward, right? I mean, did you feel like you completely failed everything you went up there to do?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, there you go.
Not at all. Yeah. I just wanted to go gnarly, like Navy SEAL style. That's why I went out there, you know? And then, of course, there was a woman.
There always is, man.
Yeah.
It's hard because we need that connection.
We do. I don't think I could have done it, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was just kind of like suicidal, you know, like didn't give a shit. I was just gonna get it done, you know, David Goggins style. And man, post divorce, like I don't know if I could have done it, bro. Yeah, when you burn that hot, it's easy to burn out, you know.
Yeah.
So, but she changed my life. That girl, just unbelievable. So that's why I called it, because I realized I would have to choose between what I believe and her. So, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
It really does.
Yeah. There's no option where you walk away without a scar, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Those make us who we are, though.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, man.
My friend grew up Hindu, and the love of his life was Muslim. And I told him they should have just got married. But then, did I follow my own advice, you know?
Yeah. It's easy to, it's easy to say. There's so many things that are so much easier to say than to do.
Right.
It's so frustrating.
Right.
You know, like, no matter what, I mean, we talked a little bit before this whole thing, and I feel like no matter what, your brain can tell you, this is what you should be doing. Like,
right.
And it makes sense. It seems like the best thing, but your heart's going to take you a whole other direction.
Completely.
And
100%.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, especially when like love and shit's involved. And yeah, man, love's hard.
Love's hard. If it's just a girl, that's fine. Yeah, okay, whatever. There's more, you know. But when it's something like that, that's like some movie stuff. That's like a fairy tale, you know.
How do you write a book?
I thought about it.
You should.
Yeah.
I'm writing one.
Really?
Yeah. Not a lot of people know about it.
No joke, man.
Well, apparently everyone knows about it now.
Yeah.
So, no, but mine's it goes in a direction you probably aren't gonna see coming, but it's fantasy. It's
a
a
novel.
lot of fantasy, yeah. So
No
it's
joke.
Dragons, all that shit.
No
right?
way. Let's go.
And it's kind of a romance novel.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go.
Yeah.
My man.
I'm an insanely. So that's where I'm having an issue here, right? Because I'm an insanely romantic person. I'm very into love.
Yeah.
Love hurts though.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, you get super deep with somebody, or just a long time, or whatever, and you.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's two different types of connections, right? One where there's like just this instant connection, and it's deep and it's meaningful, and you grow as people with each other.
Right.
And then there's this one which I feel like I experienced as well, and it was just time.
Yep.
Right? 15 years I was with this woman, and it was just, no matter how shitty I was treated, there was still a connection there.
Yeah.
Even a slight one.
Right.
But after time, breaking that connection just got harder and harder and harder until I finally just had to do it. You know, like make that decision of, the hardest decision for me was for me to decide that my happiness mattered.
Right.
I got kids.
Yeah.
I had a wife. And to me, nothing else matters besides their happiness.
Right.
Right? Well, but am I giving them their true happiness with me so
unhappy,
and drained
and unable to be present because all the pain you're in, and
Right.
yeah,
So I had to come to a decision, and one of the main reasons I did it was because I should be happy too.
yeah,
You
man,
know? We
yeah,
should all be doing
absolutely,
that. And it was a hard realization. I mean, all the time I think about whether or not my happiness was worth what I'm putting my kids through.
Yeah.
This is pretty rough. You know, these
Yeah.
kids are. I don't feel like I'm doing it,
Right.
but she's definitely putting the kids in the middle of all this crap,
right,
and it sucks.
yeah, man.
So now I've caused more friction, more unhappiness in my path to try to find happiness
Uh-huh.
for these children. And so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it goes back and forth, right?
Right.
But
I think in the long run, this path is better.
that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think you had two shitty paths. One was really rocky, and then in the long run, it's way better, or just continual shit
Yep.
for the next foreseeable future. I would have chosen this one, and that's the one you chose. I think that's the way to go. It's really rocky just for the first few years of the divorce, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you want to take.
Well, I heard. I went to a funeral, and I had heard that for a divorce too.
Yeah.
So it's like every year you were divorced is like 3 years of grief.
I heard that too.
Like you got to get through. And I was like,
Or you were
"Fuck."
married, right?
Years
Yeah.
you were married. Years you were married. There's like 3 years of grief
Mhm.
behind it. I was like 15 fucking years, dude. Like,
Wow.
damn.
Yeah.
Like I'm having a hard time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, man.
So there's definitely help out there, and
Yeah.
like this whole connection and all that other stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling that right now, like
Yeah.
that deep connection with somebody, and
Yeah.
sex isn't just sex anymore. It's
Right.
Like this,
Yeah.
It's like this insane, twisted up, like
Yeah.
spiritual and sexual experience, and
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, like
Yeah,
it's
totally.
making all other sex just kind of like meh.
Yeah.
I feel like sex, just normal sex, is like jerking off.
Right. Yeah.
Where that's
Totally.
not what I crave anymore. I
Right.
crave that deep,
Yeah.
just beautiful
Yeah, man.
love making. And
Yeah.
it's kind of,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
And given what I've been through, it's a little scary.
For sure.
Right? Like,
yeah.
it's hard, man.
I feel
Love's
you.
hard.
Yes, sir. Yeah. There's a Nobel Prize winner for literature, Pablo Neruda. He's considered the greatest poet of all time.
Interesting.
He writes about that exact space you're talking about.
Well,
Yeah.
would he be so great if he didn't probably, I'm guessing,
Oh.
go through some of that shit?
Sheesh. No.
Right.
Right.
So, I feel like the point I'm trying to get to in this whole thing here, with love being hard and all that other shit, is
Dang.
if we didn't go through these immense just transitions of just self-awareness, self-being, self-love, other people love, like all this other shit, I feel like
Yeah.
there's a few people you can talk to and you can see are destined for greatness,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like you're definitely one of them.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, whether we agree completely on everything,
Yeah,
there's
who
no
cares?
way you can.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
But without some of these scars and all this other shit that we got involved,
Right.
we're not going to reach that potential.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's really put into perspective, man. That was hard to process for you. Get it? Yeah.
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 Loss like that sucks.
Yeah.
You know?
That was wild.
So you chose to kind of just be done with that? You didn't want to keep pushing it? Or was it like a mutual thing?
Well, I went out there. My whole reason in going out there was to live like the disciples, was to
Right.
go pray and fast on a mountain, just go full Moses style, be a weirdo, do what the Hindu gurus did, but in my own faith, you know?
Yeah.
Be a monk, basically. I was expecting to be celibate for the rest of my life, actually. That was the goal. I was done with everything.
Jeez.
Yeah, post-divorce, you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go be a celibate weirdo recluse.
Yeah.
That was the goal. So I wanted to continue that path. I did. It meant everything to me. And it's weird because I said she meant everything to me. And they both meant everything to me, so I had to choose.
Right.
Which is greater. And yeah, I did.
Well,
Yeah.
you did the right thing, man.
I think so, too,
I
man.
mean, whether you feel like it sometimes or not,
Yeah.
there's probably those emotions that come up, and you're like, was that even the right choice? Should I have just followed her and been with her and all that other shit?
Yeah,
But
would it have been easier? Maybe we could have made it work. Those
Doesn't
little
matter.
thoughts. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think she taught me what it truly, what it. I didn't. I had my ex-wife was a savage. She was awful.
yeah,
So I had never felt anything like this. This woman reframed my whole life, man. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know a woman could care about somebody. So that changed everything.
yeah, it's pretty nuts to have that feeling of just absolute, just like
Yeah.
real love.
Yeah, real love. Real love.
Real love is
Yeah.
so completely different than you think it would be.
Right.
And it upsets me because there's always everyone's like, oh, well, that's movie love. That's movie love. That's this. No.
No, that's
Someone
real.
wrote that
Yeah.
because they felt that.
Yeah. No, that's real.
That's real. It's
Yeah.
real shit, man.
Yeah.
So like, don't stop
Yeah. Yeah.
until you find that shit
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there, because everything else
Yeah.
is worthless.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Straight up.
dude, it's really worthless, and I don't know if celibate wise, I'm not doing that. There's no fucking way, dude. Like, I can't. I'm too much of a sexual being.
Yeah. For sure, man. I mean, I'm not on that path anymore either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. For
It'd
sure.
be nice to try. I tried to go a couple weeks,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even do that.
Yeah. Well, your body's used to it,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I feel you, man. Sheesh, but yeah, that movie love thing you're talking about too. People don't believe in it. That's the one thing that I learned out there. This is real.
Yeah.
That actually happened, and it sounds like a book or something like that. And then I knew I could look forward to that. It was my new standard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. It
Yeah.
really sets a fucking standard.
It really does, yeah.
Nothing else is even acceptable
Right.
besides that. Or I bet you you could be better.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Right.
if I were to go and find something else,
Right.
it would have to be 100 times better than that.
Yeah.
Like I accept no
Yep.
longer backwards.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was a chubby boy back then too. She didn't care.
you were chubby?
I was chubby.
Really?
I was chubby. Oh yeah.
Some chicks
Yeah.
dig it.
Yeah.
I've also
They
realized
do,
the
man.
hair. The hair is a thing.
They love the hair.
What is that
The
about?
chest hair and the
Yeah.
arm hair. Yeah. I had a giant freaking gnarly mountain man beard. Man, that played.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, I
you
do.
got one. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets yanked on a lot.
Yeah. They love it, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. Crazy. I had a big mustache like yours. She would kiss me, but she just kissed my mustache. It would separate us.
Yeah.
And then she was into it. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool.
I always clip above my lips.
Yeah.
So I can still feel that.
Yeah.
I love that connection, that kissing and
Yeah.
all that other shit.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
I was out there, so I didn't have anything to do it. I was literally just mountain manning it. So, yeah, I couldn't. And then I felt like it was like my identity then, I felt like Clint Eastwood. I didn't want her to, Yeah, it was cool, man. That was wild. What a crazy story.
Okay, so you do all that.
Now I speak Russian.
Now
almost
you speak
fluently
Russian.
because of her, and I read and write. It's
Yeah.
nuts, man.
You
Who
still
would've
go to
thought?
church in Russian too?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so tough. It's so cool. I go there, they're playing like old Soviet music, and they're playing it on accordions, and all the lyrics are in Cyrillic, and I can read it now, and I try to read it as fast as they're singing it and guess the melody to try to sing along, and it's this whole exotic, weird culture to me. And all the girls are in head coverings, and it's only things I've seen in movies, you know what I mean? And we're all eating traditional Russian food afterwards, and it's just so it all reminds me of her, man.
Yeah.
Every girl in the covering and the heels and the dress, it reminds me of her, and so it feels familiar. It's my way of having her comfort without having her comfort.
Yeah.
I used to go to the Russian store just to look at the Cyrillic writing on things because it reminded me of the little buttons she would push on her phone when she was texting her friends. So it all brings me back to that cottage in the Himalayas on the mountain, that perfect heaven, that Garden of Eden. And it just reminds me of her. And so it became a part of me. And now, For those listening to the podcast who don't know, I'm like half black, half German. I'm a rapper and I scream for a hardcore band, and I have, a sleeve and some throat, neck tattoos and face tattoos and stuff. So like people wouldn't expect me to speak fluent or near fluent Russian. So it's just really fun sometimes to just walk into a Russian store and to go up to the oldest people there and start speaking in Russian, and the mutual respect that you start to have for each other, and all those walls kind of get torn down. It's awesome. People who you think would like hate you, like become your best friends, and they're like, "Oh, come meet my family. Oh, you speak Russian." They get so excited, and then I realize how here in Vancouver, growing up, everyone talked trash about all the Russians, and I was guilty of it too, because they had their own culture, and now I realize that I was just as racist and xenophobic as they were, So I try to pull that out of myself. I'll go to churches that people say I would never be accepted into, just to show, just so I know I'm not xenophobic and I know I'm not racist, It's like, how can I expect them to treat me a certain way if I'm not willing to give them that respect? So I will go there, dress to the nines, be really respectful, speak only their language, just to bridge the gap,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. There's one over by my house off Chuklov.
Yeah, Vosrojdinya. It's called the Revival Church.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, the big one.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It just keeps getting bigger. It's gotten bigger over the past 15 years.
Yeah. I went there 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got kidnapped and brought there.
Did you?
Not really, but
yeah.
There's this old Russian guy, and I went to a different church, and he's like, "Oh, Cody, come here in my car." So I get in his car. He's like a 70-year-old Soviet grandpa. And then I'm like, "Where are we going?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it. It will be fine." And then he just drives me to a different church.
What? So he stole you from one church, took you to another?
Yeah. Yeah.
What a
weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, "What are we doing here, Daddy Sasha, Uncle Sasha?" And he's like, "Oh, будет нормально. It will be fine," it means. Yeah. And then we just go and we're hanging out. And then, okay, cool. Yeah. Soviet grandpas are a different breed, man. They're weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Weird how? Like that?
They don't stop talking. They will corner you for 6 hours. Wow. Just talk. They'll just drive you somewhere. You don't know where you're going. They're not going to tell you. And you're just hanging out with them for the day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He drove me around after that to every church. And he would just pull up to the parking lot and be like, "This is Baptist church." And then he'd just sit there and look at it. I'm like, "Cool, man." And then he'd drive me to another one. "This is Pentecostal church." And he's just sitting there looking at it. Like, what are we doing?
So what's the difference in all these churches?
Oh, it's stupid, man.
Really?
It's stupid. It is so stupid. From an American perspective coming into this, they're like at war. It is like clan war.
Wow.
And there's no difference. And they think it's the biggest difference. Literally, one church thinks having drums is evil, and women shouldn't wear pants. They can only wear skirts.
Yeah.
And the other church is like cool with women wearing pants, and they have a drummer, and they hate each other.
Wow.
One church jumps up and down and waves their hands, and the other church just chooses to stand still, just a different flavor during the songs. And they can't stand each other, and they're convinced that the other one is deceived. And from an outside perspective, I wouldn't have known they were different denominations.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all speaking in Russian. They're all preaching the Bible. I didn't know that moving your hands or jumping up and down or standing still was this earth-shattering difference. I would have thought it was the same church, but a different building. Literally no difference whatsoever. And they're convinced it's the biggest thing in the world.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's wild, bro. It's crazy.
So which one is the one over by my house?
That is stand still, head coverings,
Okay.
no dancing. Just really reserved kind of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I'm cool with it all, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with it all. It's just people's individual personal flavor. We don't have to try to make it a big theological issue. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. People get pretty going with all that.
Yeah. So.
Uh-oh. Hold on. How much of this is even recorded is what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see what it is.
What the fuck?
It might have recorded. It might have stopped when we first started.
What?
What did we do? Did we push the...
I don't know, dude. It's all gone. There it is. And then I move it a little, and it's gone.
Is it just a little bit? You're moving it, though?
Yeah, like, as soon as I move it at all, the whole thing disappears. I don't know if we're recording or not.
Can you go to the magnifying glass thing up there? Maybe you can zoom out?
This?
Yeah. Right-click it, maybe? No? That's zooming in. That's zooming in.
Is it?
Yeah, so zoom... Oh, no, you're right.
I was zooming out.
Yeah, you're right.
So maybe we are still recording. How do I turn this off? Wow, that got bigger. How do I get rid of this?
Maybe click it in?
There we go. But, like, how can I see if it's...
Yeah, we are recording because that's like all those different numbers. It keeps getting higher and higher.
But it's not counting.
But
Hold on.